What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Neg Entropy Chronicles. So before we get started, please do me a favor by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And click that notification bell to be alerted anytime I drop a new video. So what we're talking about is Dave Chappelle, The Closer, and I'm doing a review on it. Why am I doing a review on this? I've done plenty of them, of his other stand-ups, things like that. And it goes back to the same thing that I've said before. This man is a genius because he goes to the uncomfortable places and he's making people talk about it. The problem with a lot of this social media thing or the new journalism that we have going on, it's one-sided. I've seen that from a couple of them. Now, mind you, before I watched the special, and then I read all the people trying to cancel him. And when I read those articles, they only focused on one thing. They never talked about both sides of it. They never explained it out. I had to look at least 4 or 5 different articles that were going after him. Not the ones praising him. I don't care about that. Because I wanted to see the ones bashing him, how fair they were being in the information. And even with them trying to cancel him, they only cared about one thing, which was what he was saying about the T's. They didn't care about the L's, which he said in another special when he explained each of them getting into the vehicle, how they view each other, things like that. It showed again. Because what did he say when he got into throwing hands in the club or the bar? What did he say? Oh, and mind you, spoiler alerts. All right? You have been warned. Now, he said, I beat the toxic masculinity out of that woman. I did not see one article upset about this. They were more upset about the other things he was saying. So isn't that kind of odd? I mean, if this is really about the entire community that exists there, they seem to only focus on one aspect. And this goes for a lot of those these new groups. Because there's a group, the National Black Justice Coalition, the main ones that are pushing for Netflix to cancel them. When you think about it, what does the National Black Justice Coalition make you think? It's about black justice, crimes against black individuals, the community, things like that. But no. Gotta read the mission statements. All of these organizations that come out, read the mission statement before you get into it. Because what they represent is that community. That's it. So they want him canceled. But what he also brought up was jealousy of that community because people can say things about them and be canceled. What? But black people can be killed. He used the baby as an example, even though that was proven to be self-defense. That's neither here nor there. All you gotta do is do your research on it. But the idea of killing black people is less than words. That's genius. That is genius, and people still got mad. He even said, this is what y'all gonna say, this is what y'all gonna do, this is what y'all gonna look at. And y'all gonna try to cancel me. And as soon as it ended, the very next day I woke up and looked at it, the exact same thing he said it was going to happen because they didn't listen to him. They were listening to respond, not listening to understand, because if they actually did, they wouldn't have been upset. They would have saw the jealousy, the information of the complexity of human existence of this group of individuals, how he befriended someone out of that community and was saddened when certain things had occurred because of that individual from that community defending him. If you ain't seen it, I'm still not gonna say nothing on it, but you can go check it out. And it's a powerful ending to that part of the show. And I want to get into the actual definition of things, all right? So I'm going to pull it up on the screen and let y'all see for yourself the actual definitions and how we're going to destroy this information and the false narratives that get presented when these words are used. And the reasoning being is because wording is important. If you've ever checked my page out before, you can go back to them. I have literal videos talking about why wording is important, because the way you use a word can throw everything off. So let's go ahead and get into it, all right? As you see, we are at the actual definition from Merriam-Webster. Let me go ahead and, whoop, right there. Merriam-Webster, right there. Since 1828. The actual word says irrational fear of, aversion to, or discrimination against those people. If you are befriending someone from that community, because the first initial understanding of any and all communication is understanding and finding a common ground, right? So if I befriend said individual, where's the fear then? Where is that irrational fear? Because I haven't heard an irrational fear of anything that he says. I'm listening to it. I'm not like, oh, there's an irrational fear there. I mean, obviously he hates these people. Not once did I hear that. Now, the definition of discrimination. Now, I have went through this numerous times. I got to scroll up for you because, once again, this is from 1828. Since then, Merriam-Webster. The practice of unfairly treating a person or group of people differently from other people or groups of people. And the stems, you can look at the parts here. Some of the stuff I'm not going to say because I want the video to stay up so I won't be blocked. People, what I'm saying? Now, let's get back to it. So, I'm about to really mess with y'all. So, I talked about the part of the irrational fear. Where did he show in any of his shows an irrational fear of? He speaks about the jealousy of them just because they're able to get things done faster. He's spoken about the complexities of it and what that may feel like, even though we may find it different in each person's mind, but for them, how that may present itself. Now, let's talk about discrimination. Comedy is the most inclusionary aspect of society. Wait, what? Take a minute to think about that while I sip my tea, all right? That's some good tea. Think about it. You're including everyone. That's male, female, race, religious background. Political views. There's probably more down the line, but you can include them all. But the moment you speak about the LGBT, specifically the T's, they want you canceled. But don't you want to be included? Game over. You see what I'm saying? Like, comedy is supposed to include people, make them uncomfortable, make it different. Where I can talk about you. You may dislike it, or you may laugh at it, but as long as I'm not being hateful about it. But if I'm not talking about you either, would you feel like that's part of discrimination because I'm completely omitting you from the conversation?
Double kill!
The man said he was Team TERF. If you look it up, the term for wording is important. Trans exclusionary radical feminist. Just based on the title alone, he included them in a lot of his jokes. Would that say somebody was exclusionary? Or being deliberately discriminatory towards a group? Wording is important. Think about it. Now, with that being said, I thought it was a great special. Thought it was a great ending. I'm happy that he said he won't speak about it anymore because I'm tired of people trying to cancel him. Because the man is a great storyteller. He has proved it numerous times. He brings up uncomfortable situations and he addresses things as what they are and not what we wish them to see. Or what you believe them to look like to make you feel better. No, I'm going to tell you what it is. And I think with this generation, that's something that we're seriously lacking because not everybody can be everything. I can't be 6'8". It'd probably be cool to be that though. But it might be more difficult to find clothing that I purely enjoy to wear. Just saying. But to tell people to not speak on a topic that they may not understand or they truly understand, or it's just something that needs to be addressed, destroys the actual nature in which your community thrives off of, which is the freedom of speech. Never hated the group at all. I always had that. Look, man, I ain't gonna do that. Oh, I have best friend. I'm not doing none of that. I got respect for y'all choices, so that's what it is. But you can't take away other people's choices and their right to speak if it can't be done to you. Because the moment that it's done to them, shortly after it will become your turn. And when it becomes your turn, you can't change the rules. Let me know what you think in the comments. You know what I mean? Hey, go check it out. Be middle ground when you listen to it. And you might learn something. All right, everybody? Peace.